Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. It's 40 beautiful something degrees outside this morning. When I went down to the river to practice, my toes were cold and I could see my breath, and I was so grateful, and I am absolutely putting that through the screen to anybody that's hungry for some cold and some crisp, clear times. I can't wait for the summer to pass. So it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I am part of a book group that's working through this book called The Courage to Trust, that was recommended by a psychotherapist whose position is that racism is a mental illness. And that someone who's in the throes of schizophrenia, for example, would have a difficult time seeing their experience. And they would experience a lot of denial and distance instead of engaging. And her position was remarkable to me and useful to me, and she is a remarkable, talented African-American woman who makes her living working to help white women figure themselves out so that they can be useful, so that they can stop perpetuating a power structure that doesn't serve anyone. And so we're working through this book, The Courage to Trust, the necessity to trust ourselves, to notice what our stories are that I'm holding an enormous amount of scarcity. That was the story I was raised in. And until I can understand layer upon layer the way in which I am acting out of old wounds, I'm not trustworthy, not to myself, not to others. And as I was reading, and I'm very early on in this, so bear with me, but it's a phenomenal, wonderful piece of work. And this piece that I came to yesterday was so relevant to right now. And it's establishing in the very first chapter that we need to cultivate faith in a positive future. Faith in the face of uncertainty is based on a sense that there is something intrinsically good about life, about people in general, about your own future. This is built into the sutras. It's built into the yogic tradition that comes to us from the Vedas and the Upanishads, that we are this small, momentary glimpse of our own infinity. We are an event brought into the practical molecular form of our bodies. But really, this little moment's like the tip of the iceberg, and all the infinity that we come from is still waiting to take us back when this event is over. And everything that we do in this event of self, in this moment when all your molecules gather together before they fall back apart, everything we learn and know, we're contributing out into something greater, that it's fitting together, that it's a fabric that we weave. And so the work is to find, oh my gosh, what if I could find and do something every day that reminded me of how incredible and infinite I truly am, and live and act from there. And that is the practice of yoga. And yes, we'll stretch and bend and move, and we feel space in our joints and feel length in our hearts, but we're really going for the bigger picture here, or at least with me. So one quick quote. This is from Sharon Salzberg's book, Faith. No matter what we encounter in life, it is faith that enables us to try again, to trust again, to love again. Even in times of immense suffering, it is faith that enables us to relate to the present moment in such a way that we can go on, that we can move forward, instead of becoming lost in resignation or despair. Faith links our present-day experience, whether wonderful or terrible, to the underlying pulse of life itself. That right now, we require this faith to construct tomorrow, because it's not certain. Sharon Salzberg is not a pastor. Sharon Salzberg is a wonderful, wise Buddhist teacher. It's not faith in something. It's faith in faith, that there is more to everything and that everything is in the present moment and we can remember. Hands and knees. Thank you for bearing with that. If that was long and you're like, where's the down dog? I need to have a reason to do dog. I need to have a reason to come to my mat because then my mat becomes meaningful. So opening your blanket enough to pad your knees, hands and knees. Just a moment of cat-cow, maybe do 10 rounds. Aww. Starting in the depth of your spine. Moving at a pace that suits you, that works for you. And then we're going to circle the hips. Widening your knees as you need to, widen your hands as you need to, and circle through the hips. So that we can make some space in our joints, and some space in our movement, and some space in the movements we consider to be acceptable and desirable, and make a little space in there so that all of it is available, all of it is acceptable, all of us is acceptable. Reverse your circle. So start small, down into the hips, circling as though you were trying to find the inside aspect of a bowl. And this is when it's nice. You're not in a studio, so you can get as juicy with your hinder as you choose, and nobody is behind you to watch. And let it get bigger. And let it get into the sides of your ribs and the sides of your hips and the underbelly of your throat and your face. And let it get a little bigger and a little looser instead of getting tired and small and shifting inward. We go 5, 4, 3, circle, 2, good. And finding center, knees wide, toes together, find your child. We'll inhale up to hands and knees. We'll exhale with our Om, A-U-M. Om. Hands and knees rising up. Om. Folding in. One more, rising. Om. Rise. Walk your hands a step forward and a little wider. Your knees a little closer. We're going to rock forward a little bit and rock back a little bit. Rock forward a little bit, a little bend in the elbows, rock back. So it's very light, it's very soft. Adjust your hands as you need to. A little forward, a little back. A little forward, and maybe there's no bend in your elbow. And you're just taking that little cat-cow, rounding your hips back, and drawing your heart forward. And making a little heat through the shoulders. Maybe a little bigger bend in the elbows. Go 5. Just starting to touch the fact that you are awake, that you are stronger than you realize, that the body is ready. Pull with your feet, activate your navel, drive from your knees. 2. Good. 1. Down dog, press back, pedal. Walk the dog. Walk the dog, drop your head. And so we have a trust. We begin to develop a trust in the fact that there is infinity within us, and that infinity is positive. That there is care and guidance installed in each cell. Right foot steps forward. Put your left knee to your blanket. Put your blocks under your hands, please. We shake off this outer shell, hands on blocks. Pause a beat, letting your hips fall forward. Press your Left toes down into the floor, let the left hip come forward, let the heart come forward, give a little rock, a little shake, a little permission, out the mouth, out the jaw. So that as we feel these places that are virtually impenetrable, that I feel stuck, I start to feel them loosen. Start to feel the outer perspective loosen. One more. Find your lunge, lifting off. Knee to the floor, lift your heel to your hips. And again, lunging, lifting off. Come onto your fingertips. Knee to the floor, draw your heel to your hips, lift your hands. And then set down, stepping back, downward facing dog. Ha. Left foot steps up, right knee down to the blanket paws there. Adjust your blocks as you need to, fingertips if you need to. And give your hips and pelvis a little time. A little forward, a little back. Use your right toes to go down into the floor. Encourage your right hip a little bit forward, and from that right hip up into the mouth, across the chest. A little space, a little possibility. Then your heel comes up and back to a lunge, lifting off, press. Knee down, heel up, come to fingertips. Lift your heart, lift your heel. Tuck your chin, lunge, lift off. Knee to the floor, lift your hands, lift your heel. Pull the back body together. And then step back, downward facing dog. Press it out. Right foot steps up, left knee down. Hands go low and back, palms forward, inhaling. And hands down, lift your knee off to lunge. Knee to the floor, hands go wide. Inhale, open. And then lunge, knee off the floor, firm your back leg. Knee to the floor, hands up overhead, open it, just a breath. And then hands down, find your lunge, and step back down dog. Left foot steps up, right knee down, hands back and low, inhale. And then lifting off, exhale, lunge. Knee to the floor, hands wide, inhale, opening. And then lunging, lifting off. Knee to the floor, hands up high. And step back, downward facing dog. Starting to feel some space. And it's into these spaces that we make. We can find a little light. We can shift our perspective. Walk your feet to your hands. Soften your knees, hands wide. Turn your thumbs up. Sit your seat down. Heart comes up. Hands come up. Palms together down the middle. Sweep up high. Inhale. Good. Bend in the knees, going down in reverse. Hands wide, heart down, head down. Left foot steps back. Left knee down. Hands up high. Breathe in. Hands down. Fold. Step back down dog. Press back. Left foot steps up. Right knee down. Hands up high. So I'm using my blocks to warm up. You can use your blocks or hands to the floor. Step your right foot up. Hands go wide. Sit your seat down, your thumbs up, your heart up. You stand up tall. Palms together. Land your heels. We go. Inhale up. Bend the knees, hands wide. Tuck the chin. Fold. Right foot steps back. Right knee down. Hands high. And exhale, hands down. Step back down dog. Good. Right foot steps up. Left knee down. Hands up. Soften it. Less force, even less precision. Left foot steps up. Find a little momentum first. Hands wide, sit down, thumbs up. Let your hands fall together. Let your elbows draw wide. Inhale. So we soften, knees bend, folding, head last. Left foot steps back and down. And sweep wide. And fold. Down dog. Left up, right knee down, hands up high, and fold. Right foot steps up, knees soft, seat wide, hands wide, thumbs up, stand up. Hands fall together, elbows open, heels down. Return, inhale up. Sit down, hands wide, fold down, right foot back, right knee down, two hands. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, set it down. Step back, downward facing dog. A little more momentum. Inhale, high plank, bring it up. Exhale, down dog. Right foot steps up, left knee down. 2 hands up, breathing in. 2 hands down, breathing out. Keep it soft, stepping up, a little momentum. Float, hands wide, sit down, thumbs up. Palms together, bring it down. Sweep up, building on. Building on, open, bend your knees, sweep wide, fall down. Hint of a smile, left foot steps back, left knee down, sweep up, pause. Right hand to your right thigh, left hand down, take it back. Bend your front knee, left hand high. Take it down, take it back. Your back toes are tucked under. Inhale, lifting up, a little bit of a lift in your gaze. Right hand down, shake it out. Inhale, bring it up. We go one more like that. Hips go back, hand goes down. Bending your right knee, stay so tall. Right hand comes up, take your hips back. Right hand holds the left wrist, pause. Turn your left palm to the ceiling and begin to bend your front knee as you take your hands to the right. Press your left toes down, soften your right hip. A little lift of your gaze, widen your gaze, out to the left, out to the right, up above and down below. Open your gaze, softly opening the left side, 2 hands down, step back, down dog, find your dog. High plank, bring it forward. If you choose, a little bend in the elbows. Down dog, going back. Stay 3. Stay 2. Left foot steps up, right knee down. And 2 hands high. Left hand, left thigh. Right hand down and back, hips coming back, and inhale, sweep up. We're just beginning to make some openings, some momentum, some time, some space in the body. Inhaling up and down. One more, stay. Right hand is high. Left hand is high. Take your hips back. Right palm to see the ceiling. Left hand holds your right wrist. Now forward and back. Drive from your feet. The front foot pushing down and away, the hips coming back, the back foot pressing down to send your right hip forward. Take your hands a little left as you come forward. Take your hands a little left, widen your gaze. Right, left, up, down, open the perspective. Let in more. Ha, hands down. Step back, down dog. High plank, if you choose a little bend, press back, down dog. Keeping your hands on the blocks, your feet a little bit wider, your knees a little bit softer. Left hand will stay on the block, right palm to the floor behind your right block. Left hand on the block, left heel back and down, open the left side a little more. Open that left side a little more. Ha. Now put your left hand down behind, right in towards the center of your mat. Right hand will find the left outer shin. Bend your knees, lift your heels. Bring your right knee towards your right armpit. Press your left hand down and away. Press your left heel back and look up underneath your left armpit. Wrap your left hip back, your left thumb down. Turn under your armpit, open from left palm to left hip to left heel. Right knee into your armpit, look up, and then release. So the left hand goes behind the left side block. The right hand goes onto the right side block. Press down, press away. Right hip high. Let your left knee bend, right hip back. Feeling space through the right side body. And then we'll bring the right hand down and towards the center. Right palm into the floor, knees soften. Take your left hand outside of your right shin. Left knee bends towards your left armpit. Right heel back, right shin back, right hip back. Press your right thumb down. Look up under your right armpit. Left knee into your left armpit.
revolve, spin. Find the whole right side body. Good. Hands down, press back, down dog. We'll set the blocks aside.
So we're making a little space through the side body, through the sides of the spine. Keep your hands down, your left foot to the center line, to right heel high. Put a little bend and straighten in that right leg. Little bend and straighten in your right leg. Make some space, come up out of the joints, out of the shoulders, out of the wrists. And step your right foot forward, a high lunge. Back toes are tucked under, back knee off the floor, hands up high. Good. Bend your elbows down as you straighten your arms, straighten your legs. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. Flush it out, inhale, rise. Strengthen your back thigh. Lift your back thigh away from the floor. Keep it lifted even as you bend your front knee, hands up high. Interlace your fingers and bend your front knee slowly. And stay. Turn your left hip forward, your right hip back. Turn your navel, turn your ribs, turn your gaze to the right. Scissor, rinse, turn from there. Navel back, ribs back. Turn your right rib back. Turn from the navel. Back heel is over the ball of your foot. Keep your legs like this. And now turn your chest toward the front. Keep scissoring your thighs. Heart up, hands up. And sweep wide, set down. Step back, down dog, press. Left hand, left hip, left heel. A little longer, a little deeper. High plank. A bend if you choose. Down dog. Good. Left foot. Put your right foot into the center line, your left heel high. And bend and straightening the left leg to get a